For you, we have some news. The battle between the SEC and Ripple is nearly finished. Tethers will be a topic of discussion throughout this session. Indeed, Tether does criticize Ripple. It is odd, but I believe they are afraid. It's possible that Tether fears Ripple will create a stablecoin for everyone. I want to go right into it since that's what we're going to speak about. I want to confirm that every topic has been discussed. With a price of 61.273, Bitcoin is down 1.6%. The price of Ethereum is 315, which represents a decrease of 4.39% from yesterday. Both the US coin and the US currency are fixed at $1. It's awful. It goes by the name XRP. It hurts. Even if I won't want to, I will say it. By the time I finish my story, that will be 49 cents. When I originally entered the market in 2017, I could have made a lot of money by investing in any other currency before learning this. But I did have faith in Ripple. I had faith in XRP, and now let's assume that we are successful 7 years later. That's not very favorable. Though this bull run might be the beginning of something new, I am aware of that. I really think that if we can resolve this and make significant progress, things will be at their best in a few months. In the distant future, XRP might surpass its peak. They exist. Whether you're a Star Wars enthusiast, collector, fanatic, or specialist, you should own at least one of them. Perhaps you should even try to gather them all. For the purchase, we created a whitelist and sold 40 units. The throng moved rapidly to get what they wanted, so there was no time to spare. How much they adored Star Wars was astounding. The public will be accessible starting on May 1st. The meals of this crypto cycle appear to be just beginning. Millions of individuals could profit. I hope that sounds like me. I hope that sounds like you. The capacity to dominate the market separates the winners and the losers. He's at 100% right now. The run-up and the manipulation with the small drop indicate the inbounds. That makes sense. I can see stopping the manipulation by going back to zero before we take a break and try to flip this around once more. I believe these markets are being hacked if they don't. I have a hard time finding anything negative to say about you, so I don't think there is a problem. There is not enough money in these marketplaces for dishonest people to keep out of them. Many artists are both extremely talented and extremely flawed. They attempt to manipulate markets in order to achieve their goals. However, everything changes when banks and a substantial quantity of money between $5 and $7 trillion, depending on the amount, enter the market. When the quantity surpasses $5 trillion, deception will cease, resulting in a decrease in the amount of money in circulation. You are aware of these. XRP and Bitcoin Ethereum estimated that the value of its coin was between 90 and 95. You own it. In the end, even 99% of the drips make it there. Money does what? In the end, doctor. Uber promised to comply. This involves at least a few of the hundreds of initial coin offerings ICOs that Lubin managed at his coin factory. It's not just about Ethereum. Yes, I understand. Instead of calling them iOS events, he refers to them as utility token creation events, UTC, but let's just call them that. Joe Lubin of Vitalik Putin is allowed to pursue Ethereum according to the Ethereum Foundation. They can act any way they like. They can attempt to alter this, and you can bet they intend to do so by first filing a lawsuit against the SEC to make themselves out to be the heroes. Recall that. Lubin performed during 2020 and 2020-21, and I'm curious to learn more. He complimented the SEC and expressed his pride in my work. You got the idea, albeit I won't tell you how much he meant it. It is commonly known that while the SEC was suing Ripple and declaring XRP to be a security, they were also aggressively researching and learning about the cryptocurrency markets. Despite the fact that XRP was still lost due to its unreliability, he was satisfied with the work the SEC was doing. Furthermore, they were aware of what they were doing and observing. Things have evolved since then. The two persons behind him were primarily to blame for this. He is out of circumstances where he could provide Clayton and Hinman alone. Since the current government came office, their opinions have changed. To protect themselves, they view Ethereum. Lubin does not know the SEC is after him. Rather, he is endorsing cryptocurrencies to keep his face intact. To get his money back, he plans to sue the SEC in court. In response to this, in 2020 and 2021, the same person applauded them, believing they were doing a fantastic job and asserting that XRP was a guarantee. They went to the Ripple and left him alone. Isn't that a really cool thing? How quickly does the world change these days? According to Tony Pop, CEO of Obra, Bitcoin will bring in $50 trillion for the cryptocurrency markets. He handed it to him. The government authorized the opening of the first Bitcoin center. In exchange for Bitcoin and other currency, it provided loans and returns. The international investment community will become more knowledgeable about native cryptocurrency products such as Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, and others. Is that currently $2.5 trillion? I predict the figure will rise above $50 trillion. You are aware that this will alter in the upcoming 10 years, if not sooner. Everything is so enormous. We are not suggesting that $50 trillion will happen this year, despite some absurd claims to the contrary. Apply the brakes and proceed. About $5, $7, $9, and $10 trillion are involved. This is the estimated value of cryptocurrencies. In 2030 or 2035, it might reach a peak of $50 trillion. I'm thinking about it. In 2035, 10 years from today, that would be 6 or even 10 years away. Keep in mind that 10.5 years have passed. Do not criticize the message, please. I understand. For many of you who will be working for the next 30 to 35 years, 10 years, 30 trillion or 50 trillion won't mean anything. Your coin would be worth $10 trillion if you could hang on to it for 10 years. This market is expected to be valued $50 trillion. Our fortune has increased significantly. This summer, Ethereum will be more valuable than Bitcoin according to our rules. Now that the SEC is adopting a different approach, it will be interesting to see if the genuine poor continue to make this audacious prediction. You are already aware that the legal matter will be complex and take a while to resolve. It will require some time to complete. And the summer of Ethereum will be filthy. If you ask, I'll inform folks in due course. Regarding Ripple's most recent stablecoin launch, Tether has made negative remarks. We expect that the Ripple team will benefit more from the new stablecoin than from the previous ones. T's remarks will not only age like milk, but they also convey his nervousness. Tether fears that its largest rival, Ripple's stablecoin, may have given them a hint. These individuals are aware that cryptocurrencies won't survive forever, thus they will already be moving on. They recently announced that they are investing $200 million in an unknown venture, unreliable firm to install computer systems. Opinions held by people are genuine and unfabricated. People, are you aware that businesses take risks against other businesses because they are afraid? They worry that their rivals may outperform them and steal funds from the projects they are currently working on. What we're witnessing is that. Thus, the only plausible explanation for our viewpoint is that the Ripple stablecoin poses a threat to Tether. What worries Khan the most are the buttons. There is no predetermined way for verifying it, they just print it whenever they want. It's evident how Ripple manages its data. They strictly adhere to the established norms in the books. I would absolutely place a wager on it because I believe they'll go above and above. Without a doubt, I would wager on their stablecoin. Perfectly timed, Keyman. The court will make a decision in the SEC lawsuit on July 13th. On April 4th, immediately following Ripple, the transition from US codes to USD or other recognized currencies will take place. On April 22nd, Ripple is going to launch a stablecoin in USD. Ripple's changes are getting good feedback from users. We obtained both the stablecoin and Ripple in this method. It appears that the SEC has addressed the decision to discard its most recent expert papers.